sure that we are actually live.
Oh God, turn my phone down. There we go.
Paul Cross says, looks like another late start. We will get to it when we get to it. So, according to this, Hangout is now live. So, lads, lasses, people with glasses, and of course, all of those in between. My name, in case you didn't already know, is Dexter, and welcome to the Technical Problem broadcast, where I'm accompanied tonight by Colin, Albert, and Chan. So, thank you very much for dropping in again with us tonight, as always, guys, for our Monday night show. So, first off, let's do the introductions. Albert, would you like to give away a quick shout out?
I am Albert of Click Clap Pow. Anything to do with Pump? Basically, that's me on Facebook.
Fantastic. Chandy Man, can you give yourself a shout out, please?
Yep, the Chandy Man from Northern Custom Works. Anything to do with anything?
Anything to do with anything technical?
Oh,
Well, if you want it, we can sort you out.
Yeah. And unfortunately, guys, Colin is currently otherwise engaged. However, he is in the call and should be with us shortly. So if you're interested in following any of us on social media, there is links in the description down below. Now, it appears that we're now 2 men down, as Albert is now on the phone. Fantastic start of the show, but it wouldn't be the Technical Problem broadcast if it was any other way. So then, guys, I hope we can give you an interesting show tonight. I'm currently trying to find my mouse so I can see if things are actually up and running.
See, it would be the one time that we can all hear each other and we've had no problems that Colin and Albert are pissed off.
Yeah, straight at the very beginning. Right. Oh, yes, that is in fact they're live. So, right, guys, tonight, just to start with, we will be talking about the MG100 and the fact that, according to at least one person, it actually shoots out of the box, first strike, better than the sar12. There is also the new 50 cal first strikes that are being launched, or at least I believe they are open to pre-order at the moment, if they haven't actually already been launched. And also paintball in public, which is a subject that has come up before, but it's come up again recently, so we thought we'd touch on it again. So hopefully we can entertain you tonight with all that. And then anything else that comes up in the process. So right then, guys, we are going to start off. Before we go any further, we also do have Colin has done his introduction in the chat, even though he can't make it to the live show just yet. So he says, "Hi, I'm Colin. I am the Pump Fury, and I'll be joining soon." So there you go, guys. He will be with us shortly.
Sorry about that. It was the missus ringing.
Well, you know, family comes first, and you've got to drop it for the missus.
Yeah, she wanted a tea putting in.
Fair enough. Right then, guys. So, Albert, would you like to start off with the discussion on the paintball in public?
Yeah, it was an old video that's been posted up again. I think it's just Lad Bible just trying to recycle old crap, but it stirred up a hornet's nest again. Basically, in America, I don't know what city it was, but they're basically just running around shooting the living daylights out of each other, no safety whatsoever. The public walking around, people's cars have been damaged, windows have been broken. You know, there's just no safety whatsoever. They're saying that it's stopping gangs from actually probably shooting each other, which, yeah, fine. But I think it deems paintball in general. I know it's happening in America, but the way the net is now, you know, this is going all around the planet, and it's had over 2 million views. That much that Wolf jumped on again. I know he posted up the first time it came on, but he came on again.
Yeah.
Politely asking them not to use it.
Well, I do understand it. I can kind of understand the idea of them using paintball as opposed to committing. I don't want to say real acts of violence, because obviously just shooting random people in the street is real acts of violence, but something it's not necessarily, well, it's not deadly. I suppose at least, you know, that there's that, and that trying to get real guns off the streets and that turn into something a little bit safer. But for the general public, it's still, in my opinion, a really bad idea, especially if they happen to go down the route of using anything that looks more realistic. The way that police are, a lot of them, they want to go home at the end of the day, so they'll shoot first and then ask questions later, which I can't really blame the police for doing. But if people actually run around shooting at people, then it adds another element to it. It's not just a case of somebody I've seen videos, I think we've all probably seen videos of open carry people where they feel like they want to display their firearms in public, which the Second Amendment does allow in certain states. Or it should be in all states, I believe, but so I know some areas don't allow it. Now, you have that, but they're not actually walking around actively pointing those things at people. It only takes one case of somebody to or somebody to see it wrong, see somebody pointing things at people, and it could go bad.
It's already happened in Texas, hasn't it?
Well, this is it, yes.
Yeah, a group of lads surrounded a bloke's house.
Mhm.
He obviously didn't realise it was a paintball gun.
Mhm.
And as far as he knew, they were there to hurt his son. So he
Yes.
came out with the real thing, injured two of
Yes.
them and killed one.
Mhm.
I just think it's mad, especially in a country like America, where guns outnumber people.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I believe there was I can't remember who it was in reference to, but it was something along the lines of America will never be invaded because there is a gun behind every blade of grass.
Basically, near enough. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do appreciate the fact that, with certain areas, and it's generally in low-income areas where there'll be more gang violence, and I do appreciate that. I think it's the more senior members of some of those gangs or former gang members who are trying to take guns off the streets and who are trying to do a good thing, but they're doing it in a bad way. It would be good if they could combine the two things of trying to do that to get the gang violence to stop, and also to try and also for to come into play paintball properly.
Yeah, get them on a paintball field.
Yeah, that's it.
If there's two gangs fighting, get them on a paintball field. Don't let them run around. I'm busy now looking. I'm almost 100% sure it was Chicago where that video was. I'll have a look now.
But it would be good to get those guys onto genuine paintball fields to relieve their, to do that, to sort the tensions out in ways that aren't actually going to hurt people in the long term. And if they can be left at that, it's the way I would like to see it is sort of akin to the idea of honorable fighting, where you have a bit of a fist fight with somebody, the issue's then settled and you just go and have a pint afterwards. Now, I know that doesn't really work all of the time in real life, but the honourable idea of doing that, you sort the issue out and then that's the end of it. You don't beat somebody when they're on the floor or anything like that. If it could be just left at shooting each other on the paintball field, that would be fantastic, both for us with the influx of potential new players and gear sold and all that sort of stuff, as well as it would be good for them for not actually hurting each other on the streets. And I believe that, like you said about Wolf, I'm pretty sure Wolf had originally invited people that if they wanted to come and play, if they wanted to play paintball properly, it was like, come and play with me. Come to a proper paintball field, and we'll show you how to do this for real.
Yeah, he invited the living legends. I'm reading the post now. Please do not do this. One shot can easily destroy an eye. Wear a mask. Join me on the field. This shit like this can only hurt my sport. Yeah, I have if any of you would like to take me up on this opportunity, I will be at Living Legends. And then he's put a link to Living Legends.
Yeah. Which I think that's a great thing to do. And it's the same as what I've said before about, I think there's a lot of people, their entire concept of what paintball is, for non-players, their entire concept of whatever paintball is mostly just shooting at each other in back gardens and things like that, or going out into the local woods and shooting at each other, or rental days. That's pretty much it. Most people's idea of a person who plays paintball regularly is for lack of a better way to put it, their opinion of what a stereotypical MagFed player would be. They think that that is all that paintball is. Now, I've said before, if you enjoy playing MagFed, that is totally cool. But that is what a lot of people think of as that is the be all and end all of paintball. And we'll all know that there is so many factions to paintball. Like it's unrealistic. It's like thinking that all there is to football is going down the park and kicking a ball with your mates.
Thanks. Johnny 3Ts has said it was in Detroit. Chase there. I was busy looking for it.
Yeah. We are still 2 microphones down.
I'm just worried what Chan's doing.
So, but it would be fantastic to see those guys actually make it onto a proper field. Now, watching the video though, I did find something quite interesting, was that a lot of them, they weren't just using the stereotypical markers that you expect people that know nothing about paintball to have.
No.
You expect somebody that doesn't really know much about paintball is going to come out with something like a cheap JT or a cheap
one of them spiders,
or a spider or something like that.
From what I remember, it was everything from like a Tipman Cronus up to, I want to say it was like an Invert Mini or a Die Rise Reflex Rise or whatever. But it's one and the same, to be honest.
But that's it. I mean, there weren't just the typical sort of markers that you expect people to have when, you hear about stories of people being arrested when they do some stupid paintball, and it's nearly always like a 98 custom, or like there was even the guy that robbed a bank with a brass eagle blade. That's the sort of stuff that you expect people that have no idea to have their hands on, not tournament markers. But so to an extent, these guys must have looked into stuff a little bit more. Now, that may just be a case of buying stuff off of eBay, or it could have just been they've gone to a local shop and bought some stuff. Now,
go remember, you can pick an A5 up at Walmart in America.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
In fact, any Tipman product is available in Walmart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, the Brass Eagle blades, they were sold at Walmart. You had I believe the Trilogy autococker at one point was actually sold in Walmart. I believe that actually came with like a set where you got the hopper, a couple of CO2 tanks, some balls, and I think it was like a cheap JT mask. You got all that in a set. Perfect for shooting each other in the back garden. Yeah. Yeah. But it's important that these people they need to be taught a little bit of then maybe it's not taught, but they need to have it pointed out that what they're doing isn't safe. And I think a lot of people don't actually realize the seriousness of what they are actually doing, how much it could injure someone.
Yeah, I was busy looking for the first post that I read when it reoccurred today.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's an old post, but
yes,
Lad Bible are just regurgitating stuff.
Yeah,
like they do.
it's
And this guy jumped on straight away saying, this is bad for the sport that I love, blah, 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 blah. And he did not get a roasting. You don't know the backstory to this. This is saving lives. Actually, I don't think so, because I think it's endangering lives.
I think it probably is saving lives in the fact of there's probably not as many people going out with real guns and shooting at each other.
Oh, yeah. But imagine if
imagine
if one of them kids that are running around with one of them paintball guns got shot in the eye and gets killed.
Yeah.
All we need is for paintball to get banned in America. America's their biggest market. That'll kill paintballing over here, basically, because all your big suppliers, they're all American, apart from obviously Planet, But GI Sports, which basically own everything under the sun, Die.
Yeah.
The only two companies that I know of is you've got Sterling, which is a sad thing where it looks like they're not bothered with paintball no more. They're making more money on their boards that
Yes.
now they're not bothered about producing sovereigns or sterlings, because
Yeah.
up to about a year ago, you could still even pick up a sovereign.
Oh yeah.
But that seems to, I don't know what's happened there, but they seem to be more interested in making bows than they are the paintball. And you got Planet Eclipse. But
Yes.
Planet Eclipse's biggest market's America. So if it gets banned in America, it will kill the sport over here.
Yeah,
100%.
I think if paintball was banned in America, it would be a massive knock-on effect for the entire industry.
Oh yeah, well done.
It wouldn't just be for the UK. It would
Oh
be
no, I mean when I'm saying that, I mean it will be worldwide.
Yeah.
America's basically the biggest market.
Yes.
Well, 100%. You know, just, when you look at the trouble they're having in Australia because of the rules that they have.
Well, as I understand it, it's actually
New Zealand is the same.
Yeah, it's becoming slightly easier in Australia apparently recently, but I think it is still incredibly strict. I mean, last I heard, I'm sure people are saying that you could now actually have your markers at home, which was a relatively new thing because prior to that, if you wanted to own a paintball marker, it was supposed to be kept at the site.
Yes.
But this is one of the reasons why gel blasters were on the rise massively in Australia, was because they were still classified as a toy, but they could only shoot about 20 meters, and that was it, a push. So, and then you also had to prepare your ammunition for about 2 hours in advance to go into a game. Now that might be all right, is if you prepare thousands. Mind, the ammunition was even cheaper than BBs, I believe, but it meant you still had to prepare all that stuff way in advance, and the markers weren't, the toys weren't exactly the most reliable either.
It also, I think it's also a reason why Nerf's so big in some countries, like the likes of Singapore. You know, Nerf is ridiculous.
Yeah.
In Ireland, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, because I've seen where like there's proper Nerf tournaments held, but they're held in sort of like the inflatable bunker that you see at North versus South and stuff like that. They actually use tournament paintball bunkers as well.
Yeah, I've noticed, and they wear paintball masks.
Yes, yeah,
I've noticed that. Yeah, just Colin was saying in Ireland you need a license. You need a license to try several numbers of markers, including 68 caliber explosive ammunition.
Yeah. Yeah, you need a license tied to the serial number of the marker.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That, I mean, it's that both Northern and Southern Ireland. But I mean, what if you've got a marker, say, like, well, I suppose that could potentially remove any capacity for having aftermarket parts, some aftermarket parts anyway. Because see, if the serial number's on the body itself, or if it's printed on, is supposed to stamped in, then it could potentially wear off, and you wouldn't have a serial number on there anymore, and that marker would then be an illegal firearm.
Do you not think that might be because Northern Ireland is really still a hotspot? You still connect to the real IRA, and it wouldn't take. You know, these guys can make bombs, so it wouldn't take a genius to convert a paintball gun to do some serious damage.
I don't think a paintball gun could be converted. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it would hold up. I think most wouldn't do the job very well.
Just look at them solid rubber balls that they were selling for home defense off eBay.
Yeah. Now that's it. Now even those, I think, would struggle to kill a person, but they would definitely cause serious injury with the velocity cranked up.
How would one up from the rubber home defense ones was the 43 caliber stainless steel ball bearings that they were selling for the like the PPQ type stuff.
Yeah,
which I kind of understand how they've got that on there.
They're probably not meant to be sold, and it's probably an oversight.
Tony Sinney, as a lad at his local site, flies over regularly from Ireland to play once a month.
Yeah,
it's easier for him to fly over to this country to play paintball than it is to play it in Ireland. And Colin said the paintball is over in Northern Ireland is classed as an explosive ammunition.
Well, I suppose by rights it is. I mean, we class it as a frangible ammunition. And I wouldn't say that a paintball is explosive because it's not going to detonate just by itself. But upon impact, it does disintegrate. So there is an argument to be made there about it being sort of explosive. Obviously, I don't think it is actually explosives. That would be stupid. Like I've already explained, it doesn't actually explode,
Yep.
but it does. I suppose it explodes on impact in some regards. But
yeah, Tony's saying he leaves all his gear in this country and just flies over once a month to play.
yeah,
If I remember rightly, he was a Portugal lad. Did that
yeah.
for a long time. BZ have still got his gear.
There is actually a few sort of players do that like through across the world, like because of strict marker laws in Germany. I believe there's a lot of German players who they might own their own markers, but they'll play in other countries where they can then shoot higher velocities. Now that's especially easy or a lot easier if you live a lot closer to the border, because you can literally hop the border, play paintball with higher velocity and what we would kind of expect from paintball, and then just go back into Germany where it's then what you've just done half an hour earlier is totally illegal.
Yeah, they have that.
Germany's 200 FPS, isn't it, or something like that?
I believe it's got to be F stamped, and so basically you can't adjust the velocity above a certain velocity, and they also it's semi-automatic only, and if you go anything other than either of those is basically it's an illegal firearm. Now I don't know the extent of it, I don't know properly, but it basically works out at 200 feet per second. So
Ben says 210.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of them.
Bore size is going to fucking waver it more than that. So
yeah. Colin also says 210. I believe in Germany for anything fired from a launching tube. Yeah. Well, no, but I don't know if anyone else saw, but I shared something on my Facebook page earlier on from Jörg Sprav, who runs the Slingshot channel.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah. Now, if you actually watch some of his videos, he does everything that he deals with is legal in Germany, and there is stuff there that he's done tests on, and it would kill you.
Yeah, I love the guy. He gets so excited over the stuff.
And he has a YouTube channel now. Sorry, not a YouTube channel. He has a shop that he's opened up. Not that, I think it's just an online store, but it's specifically for dangerous toys. But he got his hands on something. I can't remember what its proper name is, but it's basically an arrow launcher. Not a bow, not a crossbow. It's an air rifle.
Oh yeah, I've seen it with the fire the bolt.
Yeah, that you slide the bolt over the barrel. Now, because that isn't launched from inside the barrel, it's classified as a toy in Germany and is perfectly legal to own, to have. You can even make your own. It's perfectly legal because it doesn't get launched out of the barrel. It slides over it. And that thing will quite happily go through you. It also doesn't have the Archer's paradox either because it's launched as opposed to fired. But yeah, this is the thing. It's the laws in countries that are a bit screwy and there's loopholes in them and stuff. And
yeah, because I don't know who was it put on here. Colin, paintballing is like really hard and impossible in Australia to obviously it's getting a bit better, but airsoft don't have as many regulations as paintball.
Yeah, airsoft is flat out just outlawed in Australia, as I understand it. That's again,
it's not illegal. Oh, not legal. Sorry, not legal.
It's not legal in Australia.
Yeah.
That's it. And basically, there is just no airsoft community in Australia. I mean, there might be a small handful of players. But if they want to play, they have to go
do that over here. Is that a good thing? We don't do that over here. We get more people playing paintball then.
Yeah, we would. But I must admit, I do find it intriguing. I looked into gel blasters for a little while because I thought I might get my hands on a gel blaster and just take it down to District 23 and just take it out and see if I can get a few kills with it just for a laugh.
When you keep saying gel blaster, it really doesn't sound like you're talking about any sort of firearm.
Yeah, well, that's it. They don't. But you can actually get some that do look very realistic. Mind you can also get some that are basically small mock-ups. So
they never really took off in this country, did they?
No, but that's because we've got airsoft and we've got paintball.
I know they were advertising it as a toy as well. I remember when it first came out, it was it was all over that when when they do that top 100 toys for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I know that was on there. It's one where you got to soak the little blue balls and they swell up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's, they're literally it's think of a paintball that's got no paint in it. It's just a squishy shell. It's literally just empty. So you then drop it into some water. It soaks the water in like a paintball will do, and then you just tip them all into the gun, and then it's just I think it feeds it along the lines of like a BB gun, where it pulls them in as it's firing, and launches them however far. Now some of them, when I was
sounds
looking
too much like airsoft.
yeah, well that's it. I mean you can have mags with like hundreds in. And obviously they're a lot
So
bigger.
it's really realistic, like BB, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, they're probably around the same sort of size as a 43 cal ball by the looks of it, because they're a bit bigger than airsoft, but they're definitely not as big as normal paintballs. I wouldn't even say they're as big as 50 cal.
Oh, were you seeing that? Have you noticed about the First Strike 50 cal that's now come out?
Yes, I have.
That could be interesting for the likes of people who have the pistol, like the pistol that you have, and other like other 50 cal market. The problem I have is the price, though.
Yes, I mean
50. I've already converted, and it would be £55 for 100.
Right, so it was for 100.
Yeah.
Right. Do we know what the current price is for 100 normal First Strike?
I think it's about. The last price I heard was 80 quid for 250. So you're talking like 40 odd.
Yeah.
Well, so just under 40 rather.
Yeah.
A box of. There we are. Come on. A box of 100, £43.95.
A box of 168 cal is £43.
Yeah.
Right. So it's actually cheaper at the moment to buy 68 cal than it is
50.
Then it's like 50.
I just quickly Googled, and that's the first one that came up. It's and that was what came up. Obviously, because 50 cal's new, isn't it?
Well, it is a new product, the 50 cal First Strike, but it's
Tony's put it here for 100. Just paintball, it's £40.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I think I can't see them keeping 50 cal at I think it's $60 that it's at the minute for the 50 cal First Strike. Now I think they might reduce it down to the same sort of price as 68. But you would think it would actually be cheaper, wouldn't it? Since it is a smaller product.
I just quickly converted it because I know it was $60, so I quickly shoved that in Google, and it came up with I rounded it off. It was £55 and some pence, but so I suppose it would. That's on an American site called Maritime Paintball Podcast.
Yeah,
the only place that I've actually physically seen it.
Yeah,
just come today on Facebook. I was just thinking for the likes of but where do you stand about using First Strike and pistols? Because isn't pistols more for close range? Isn't that defeat the object, having a 50 cal First Strike in something that really you like your pistol? You use that round District 23, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. I see. I don't really have any issue with people using. I don't know. I don't think it'd be right for it to be like firing First Strike full auto at point blank. But if somebody shot me with like the pistol, like with the HDR 50, at pretty much point blank with a 50 cal First Strike round, I don't think I'd be that bothered. But I also don't think that this should really be getting used at high rates of fire at point blank. I think the odd shot isn't that much of a problem. But I do think the obviously 50 cal are meant to be designed as a sniper round, so I also get where you're coming from with that. But
is there any paintball and bolt action rifles that are 50 cal? Is it a bit of a novelty? I've never really, because most sniper rifles that I've seen are Hammer 7 conversions. Or you got the SR12.
Yes.
You know,
Well, that's, you've got the sar12. There's the new sniper rifle that's being made by the company I mentioned on last week's show. I can't remember what they are at the moment. You have the CCM sniper rifle, but there's only ever been a handful of those. Gaffs is the only person that I actually know of who uses one of those, and even then, he's only just recently getting that. There isn't, then it's Hammer 7 sort of mods into sniper rifles that are sort of the only really thing that you see on field. So, as far as I'm aware, there isn't any 50 cal sniper rifles. However, there is, I believe Tipman do, is it a TM15? No, TM15. That's the Tiberius one, isn't it? Is it not Tipman that do a TMC, but it's chambered in 50 cal?
Oh, I'll have a look at that.
I think there is. I think there's one. I think Tipman have a 50 cal marker.
Tony's just put up here that he got first striked by an sar12 last weekend when he barrel tagged him from less than half a foot away. The guy shot him with a first strike.
So hang on.
He went to barrel tag him.
Yeah.
The guy shot him with first strike at half a foot away.
Yeah, that's
with
not...
an sar12. So that's a rifle barrel as well.
Yeah,
that's coming out.
Yeah.
That's
not really fair.
Chronoed over at 300 as well.
Yeah.
Ow.
Thing is, that's like on sites where they normally shoot first strike, aren't they normally reduced it? I think they make them fire like 260 or something.
Saying there it hurt quite a bit, but it was just one of those things. At the chrono, it was at 300 FPS too.
Well,
Christ.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's.
If I was Marshall, and that guy would be getting a serious warning, if not told, put it away. You're not playing with it, or you're off the site. I mean, that's wrong. That like.
I mean, I suppose it is paintball. You're there to be shot. If you go in for a surrender, you've got to accept that somebody might shoot you. But I do think, and I mean, I understand also accidents happen. But if the guy has spun on Tony and shot him with that, I think that's a bit of a dick move to do. If it's been something like Tony's stepped out and the guy's pulled the trigger, then that's understandable. Accidents happen. But that doesn't sound like what Tony was actually describing there.
It's the 300 FPS that I'm on about.
Yeah. I mean, there's not even many sites chronograph people to 300 feet per second now. I think
270 is the standard.
Yeah, 280 is the standard.
Yeah.
Only tournaments that are allowed up to 300. So I don't know on that. But as far as the 50 cal first rate goes, I would definitely be interested in trying it in the pistol, just because I think it'd be fun to do. But if you've got stuff like the 50 cal TMC, I think it's a TMC that you can get in 50 cal. I think yeah,
I'm just looking it up now.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. And if there's more people shooting them, that could also be the reason why the price is a bit higher. If there's only a limited demand for them, then prices will go up because they're sort of more of a custom product. But if more people are shooting them, and will you get the same sort of accuracy, or will you get not the same accuracy? In fact, yes, we'll go with the same accuracy, but just not as good of a range with these 50 cal first rates. I mean, I would imagine that you will. I would imagine that they're probably going to travel a lot less. But could you be looking at the same sort of range as a normal paintball, but with the increased accuracy of 50 cal? Of normal first strike.
They do sell a TCM of 50 cal.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do a TCM. They do the Kronos.
Yeah. The Kronos doesn't surprise us, considering it's more of a rental market, and I know that there is a lot of rental places use 50 cal now, so I can kind of understand that.
And there is a conversion kit for the TPX.
Yeah. All right. Bloody hell, the mags for them 50 cal TPX must be tiny.
Yeah. Planet Eclipse also do a one for the Ether and E-Tech.
Well, since 50 cal was originally tried, when GI tried to bring 50 cal into the UK, Planet Eclipse brought out a 50 cal kit back then.
Yep.
So they've probably just had that concept lying around that they've then been able to just go, right, we're going to do it. Yeah, like Tony's saying that you can get conversion kits from Planet Eclipse for the GTEx.
Yeah.
Tony says it left a bruise, and no, this was an OMG event where snipers are 300 feet per second. Fair enough. For the weekend, but they had a minimum engagement distance. He admitted it was an accident, but and it was shock that made him do it. Yeah, I can understand.
I did that.
Yeah,
I shot guy on the knuckles just purely because I came out of a doorway and he shouted, "You're out!" and I just pure reaction. It was a good job. It was just the pump gun, so it was just a single shot, but I got him right in the knuckles.
Yeah,
and the barrel was like that far.
Well,
it was at Speed Weekend, very first Speed Weekend. I was playing the pump versus mag game, and I was in this little hut, and I didn't realize he was literally the other side of the door.
Yeah,
I was the last person in on my side, so I was trying to change position as much as I could. And I came out of where I was, and he just went, "You're out!" And I just pulled the trigger and straight on the knuckle. He wasn't happy. He apologized straight away. Said it was pure fluke. I said, "It's because you scared me. I jumped, and just reaction. I pulled the trigger."
Yeah,
it was with your Sterling actually, Dex.
So I know that my mark has been used in a violent crime.
Yeah,
yeah. But playing at Stargate, I think it would have been God knows how many years ago now. But I shot a guy in the back of the head from about that far away. It was multiple people sharing a bunker. He was in front of us. I was leaning out and snap shooting. This guy in front of us was also leaning out and snap shooting. We're both crouched down. I was like leaning out and taking a shot, and he would lean out and take a shot, and then we both leaned out at the same time to take a shot, and I shot him straight in the back of the head from point blank.
Ow! But he was happy about that.
Yeah. He kind of made a bit of a noise. Tim came running over and was, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" I was like, the kid's going, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, sorry," and kind of slunked off away to the other side of the bunker. Yep.
Nice.
So there you go. But yeah, I think the 50 cal first strike, it probably isn't going to be a massive thing in paintball. I'm saying that as I don't think it'll be a massive thing. If it is, then it is. But I just don't think it will be. Colin is finally
Hello!
Welcome, finally. You've dropped in and finally joined us properly.
Yes, I've joined in properly.
I suppose, like I said, with First Strike, it's basically a sniper round, isn't it? So if companies now do start making like a sniper rifle in 50 cal, like I say, the TMC's already in 50 cal, and is there any benefits? Is the 50 cal First Strike even more accurate? Would it be smaller? I know BBs are ridiculously accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I've been told on airsoft. It's mental. So I'm wondering, would the 50 cal be even more accurate than the 68?
I think that will all depend on how sites use or how they enforce the feet per second of 50 cal.
Yeah.
If they limit you to the same feet per second as a 68 cal, then I don't think it'll be any benefit at all. But
you can chrono a 50 a lot more, though, can't you? You can.
Yeah, if they allow you to go up to the max for, or 20 FPS under the max for traditional 50 cal.
Yeah.
In a sniper, that could totally change the game.
Yeah.
Because a smaller one isn't going to be as affected by wind. And it's going to be flying fast, which will mean it will get more spin, which will mean it will maintain its trajectory better. So it could actually fly better than a 68 cal.
Now, I'm just laughing at Ben because he's saying, "No doing maths."
No doing the math.
Because, I mean, like, BBs apparently are... They don't like the wind all that much either. Now, I know that that's the same for 60 cal paintballs.
Oh, my biggest thing's wind.
Well, BBs, they do seem... Well, they do have more range, but then they also are being fired at a higher velocity.
The higher velocity, but the main thing that gives a BB the range is the hop.
Yeah.
Which is the backspin that, in effect, works the same as an Apex barrel or a flat line. Well, basically the flat line.
Yeah.
That's what gives the BB the range, not the velocity so much.
Yeah.
Because
I suppose the velocity won't hurt.
I mean they do fly further with more velocity, but
Yeah.
Ben's just put a 50 cal at 450 FPS equals 68 cal at 280.
Yeah.
yeah, you imagine a 50 cal flying at 450 FPS, the amount of spin it'd get.
Let's see if they start making sniper rifles for it. But at the minute, I think it's a bit weird how they've brought out something where, you know, if you know what I mean. I think they went backwards. Shouldn't they have released a gun for a paintball sniper rifle gun in 50 cal first? Why bring out 50 cal when they haven't really got a platform for it? Because it's pistols and like I say, you can get a TCM for that has a 50 cal in it.
How long before someone starts making using a HDR 50, modifying it to make it into a sniper rifle?
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying before, like pistols are used at close range. So are you going to be using first strike at close range? It's like
yes and no. I mean, I personally wouldn't, but there could be situations where you could only get the shot with the first strike because it's got the flatter trajectory.
Mm.
If you're trying to shoot someone out of a doorway, to get enough elevation to get it far enough to hit the person, you're probably going to be hitting the top of the doorway. Whereas with a first strike style trajectory, you don't have to aim as high. It flies flatter, so you could actually get it through a doorway.
Yeah, it's just like obviously I know somebody's going to say this, and I know you can get die dams and other stuff, but at the minute I think that the first strike, the main people who use first strikes are converted hammer 7s. I know you get SARs. I know you get you can get the
They are predominantly sniper rolls, yeah,
and they're the hammer 7 conversions because the hammer 7 was cheap and people have been able to do a lot with them. And I just think, really, I think they should have done something along that lines first before bringing the 50 cal out. I just think I don't think it'll take off.
It depends. If Planet do a 50 cal conversion for the MG100, or a 50 cal version of the MG100, like they do a 50 cal version of the EMEC, then it could take off.
Same gun, then, it basically, isn't it? It would be they wouldn't have to do much to it.
No, they wouldn't need to do a lot. It would just be a slightly different body to be able to take the mags through the bottom, but then they'd have to design their own mags or a system of converting the die mags to 50 cal.
Well, if they were to make a drop-in kit, I'm pretty sure that there's somebody that would do. Eclipse could potentially even do it themselves. Produce like a conversion kit for the mag, a clip for the magwell, and then use something like the 50 cal TMC mag for it. I don't know how exactly that would work, but I'm pretty sure that somebody could work it out.
I don't think Dye would let them get away with that.
Well, has Dye got the rights to their marker though?
Well,
they've got the rights to their mags, though, haven't they?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It's a collaboration.
Yeah, it's a collaboration, but Dye are just supplying the mags for and gave them the rights to use the magwell, I suppose.
They've
changed the damn mags.
The mag as well is slightly different. It's not.
Well, the mag's the same, but
it's just the
Planet have the follower and different springs as well.
Yep.
Well, that's it with the MG100. The follower actually pops up into the.
To stop the bolt coming forward.
Yeah. Which I do actually think I do agree with some people that I've seen talking about it. It is actually quite a good idea. It's going to stop you.
A normal die mag without the followers in will still work. It'll just dry fire after you've fired all the rounds, which I don't see being a massive issue.
And it's harsher on paint.
Yeah.
The springs are a lot firmer in the die mags as standard compared to the Planet followers, Planet springs.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I do like the idea of a follower that blocks the bolt, so it's for definite that you're out of ammo.
Ben
Yeah.
was saying the only thing the dye supplied was the CAD for the mag.
Right. If that's all that they've supplied, then there really wouldn't be any reason why they couldn't actually work with somebody else for to produce maybe a drop-in kit for to convert the MG100 to fire 50 cal.
I mean, I'm not being funny. All you'd need is a tube, a smaller diameter spring, and a smaller diameter follower.
While we're on the subject of the MG100, has anybody seen the post that was on Facebook put up by a member of the team of the Hatchet Men, a lad called Justin Waldrop? I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Is saying that yesterday he received his new sar12, loads of fun, but then he got his hands on MG100. It was just as accurate, if not more so, than the sar12, and that's a stock marker straight out the box, firing FSR. Says it took him 2 to 3 shots to shift the target, where the sar12 took him over 6.
Yeah, I saw that post, and this is what I've talked about for a while. In fact, I think the majority of we've actually talked about this before. Planet Eclipse specializes in paintball. They specialize in making products designed to launch little gelatin balls filled with paint. So a lot of the companies that have been making MagFed gear have been making gear to look like, with their first priority is to look like realistic gear. And then they're having to use whatever tech they can around that. And some of this stuff even comes from less than lethal technology. So that stuff isn't even designed to shoot paint. It's designed to shoot stuff like pepper balls, where the casings on them is very hard, or it's designed to shoot things like rubber balls, where it doesn't matter if a rubber ball swishes, it's still going to fire. So I think that's the reason why a lot of these other companies have had problems. And I can't say that is the case with the sar12, but the sar12 is designed purely and simply as a sniper rifle for shooting predominantly first strike.
I don't think it fire round balls, if I remember rightly. It can only fire.
It will fire fire normal paintballs, but not very well.
Yeah, it's to do with the rifle, isn't it?
Totally optimized for first strike.
Yes. Whereas
I believe the new Nemesis barrel is supposed to be a lot better with traditional paintballs than the old hammerhead barrel.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not talking from experience. Maybe some of the MagFed guys in the chat.
Yeah, I know.
Lighteners on.
Ian put on about Sarge kit with a Nemesis barrel. So Tipman, a TBX with 50 cal conversions, Surge kit, and a Nemesis barrel.
Right.
I don't think they make a 50 cal Nemesis barrel yet, though.
All right.
Can.
Chan no do MagFed.
Yeah, Tony's saying, yeah, he caused a massive stir with that post.
He did, yes.
Good.
Then Richie Wong saying Smart Parts invented all mags and are now suing everyone else.
I thought that was now what GI were doing. Although GI Smart Parts, so
yeah,
yeah. GI basically is GI not the Gardner brothers and Richmond Italia?
I always thought Smart Parts was now GOG.
Yeah, GOG is part of GI.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yep.
So it's Shocker Paintball, I think.
Yeah, I knew that. The looks, I knew that was. Yep.
Well, if you
basically high end.
Basically, unless it's Die or Planet, it's GI.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, GI just owns everything now. But I can remember when the whole 50 cal thing first kicked off, and it was when GI first started, and there was some promo posters put out, and they actually had Gardner Italia on them for GI, and then that was removed, and it was people started saying, "Oh no, it's nothing to do with the Gardner brothers." Yeah, they just happen to own all the Smart Parts of stuff.
we've got Tony saying everyone seems to have switched to Nemesis barrels with the sar12s.
Yeah.
It's the irony of it is to be able to get the 20-inch Nemesis, you have to own a sar12. You can't just buy one.
Yeah.
Which could make it very expensive to get one if you want to put one on your MG100 if you've not got one already.
How much is the SAR12?
SAR12, I believe I think it's about 1,500 last I looked.
Yeah, something like that.
Planet Eclipse has bought a gun that's 400 quid that was more accurate than a SAR12 out straight out the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I always remember, I don't know who said it, right, but it was a long time ago, and it was a paintball. Right there, John.
Yeah.
Just blowing his nose off.
Full of hay fever.
It's that cocaine addiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he said you either one or two things. You either have a paintball marker that is made to shoot paintballs, or you have a gun that's a paintball marker that's made to look realistic. And therein it'll have problems because it's not designed to shoot paintballs. It's firstly designed to look like a real firearm. Secondly, designed to shoot a paintball. So a gun that's been designed from scratch to fire a paintball is always going to be better than something that's firstly made to look like a replica gun. Well,
this is it. This is why like the MG100 has a drop stock on it, because people that play paintball for more than a couple of sessions realize that when you've got a mask on, you can't get a good cheek weld with the normal style of buttstock. But if you look at most style of mag-fed markers, most mag-fed markers come with stocks that go straight out the back. This
Tony's done the research. £1,499 they are built to order.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I'll take 3.
Yeah.
Why stop at that? I'll have one for every day of the week.
I'll tell you what, I'll get 4 and we can have one each. Yeah.
To be quite honest, they don't. If I was to go buy a mag-fed gun tomorrow, it'd be the Planet Eclipse.
Yes, the MG100, definitely.
What
was that, John?
I'm not that up on the SAR12, but what is it based off?
It looks like a 50 cal sniper rifle.
50 cal, yeah.
Well, yes, I know it's a sniper rifle. What is the mechanism that works?
The drivetrain. I'm not sure.
I would guess it's probably a Nelson valve.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I would guess it's a Nelson valve.
I might have to have a little look at that up, because if it was sort of, you can do it with Nelson valves, but it didn't work as well as what it did with sniper. Obviously, when they turned it into the auto cocker, would be to E-blade a SAR12.
Fuck's God's sake.
Yeah, but if you want a semi-auto SAR12, you pay the whatever it is to be able to get the semi-auto bolt.
The extra 500 quid.
Yeah, I think it probably is something like that.
Yeah.
Go on, Tony, do your research. How much is the semi-auto bolt for a SAR12?
Oh.
To be honest, my one complaint about the SAR12 is partly to do with the fact that it looks like a real rifle.
Yeah.
Yes,
it does.
My main problem with it is, have you seen the size of the mags?
Yeah.
They're about 5 inches long, and you have 2 stacks of paint in it.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming everyone in the chat here will have played Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It looks like the intervention out of Modern Warfare 2.
Well, it's like a cross between the intervention, the MSR, and the M14 EBR. The back end looks like an M14 EBR. The bolt area looks like the MSR, and the front end looks like the intervention minus the handle.
Yeah.
I do love the look of it. It looks.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. If I was offered one, I would take it without a doubt.
Yeah,
if somebody just went, here you go, Dexter, have a SAR12, I would have one, and I would definitely play with it. But I couldn't justify the amount of money for it, especially if, as that guy says, if was it Noodle from the Hatchet Men?
Yep.
If it is as accurate as what he has said, can you really justify spending another 1,100 quid? I mean, the only thing I could see is maybe people saying, "Well, no, it's a semi-automatic. You can't use it with first strike." In the UK games, I know I think OMG say only bolt actions can fire first strike. So that's actually another. That brings me back on 50 cal issue. At first strike. At OMG games, I believe it's only snipers using bolt actions can fire first strike. So if they bring out 50 cal first strike, will that same apply? In which case, OMG being the biggest producer of magfed games in the UK, will they just say no one's using 50 cal first strikes unless you're shooting a bolt action?
Yeah, Tony's just said it's 1,500 quid all bar a pound. It includes the Supremacy scope, which is a scope that's designed for. Isn't it a crossbow? It was designed for originally.
I'm
because
not
it's
sure.
something. It's designed for projectiles that drop sooner. Yeah. It comes with the scope, Nemesis 20-inch barrel, 4 12-round mags. Deployed, it's 44 inches long. And you get a backpack for it too, and a lifetime warranty.
The lifetime warranty I like, and the fact that you actually get 4 mags with it as well is quite good. There's not most markers you get 2 mags at the most.
I've just had a look, and the semi-auto upgrade kit is $300.
Yeah.
So that's taking you up to like 200 quid.
So that is nigh on the price of an MG100 to make it semi-auto.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Karamak, who make it?
I think it's Karmatech.
Yeah, the bolt action version. I'm looking at a video because I couldn't actually find anything about the drive chain, but it does look extremely similar to a Nelson valve. It has the power tube and the stack, and it's just basically it's a Nelson valve.
Well,
So
remember, most paintball guns are just based off of either Nelson valves or Sheridan valves. That's where pretty much all paintball markers came from.
1,500 quid for a modified tracer. Seriously?
Effectively, I suppose yes, but you are paying for the fact that they're hand built. You know, you're getting the all that extra stuff with them as well. And you've got to think how much like autocockers were when they were being released, and they were like in the heyday. You could be paying $2,000 for a marker then.
I have two problems with it. Go on, sorry.
I've got a question for Tony. The Supremacy scope, is that a recent change? Because I can remember originally when the sar12 first was released, it was a crossbow or archery scope when it first came out.
It had the dial on the side to compensate for the drop, didn't it?
Yeah, it was originally designed for crossbows and other projectiles that don't travel as fast as bullets. So is the Supremacy a new scope? Because he's saying it's designed for first strike round. So is that or in recent times change?
Yes.
Patiently awaiting response.
As I say, the problem I have with that gun, right? One, it's too realistic. I'm not a fan of realistic guns. I never have been, right? And the price. Now, if I was to get to get a mag-fed gun, I like the look of the Planet Eclipse. It does look a little bit realistic.
Yes,
but not to the point that some copper is going to think I'm walking around with an assault rifle.
I think if you want to stock it up with like sights and attachments and stuff like that, and had the proper stock on it, yes, maybe then. But just out of the box with the normal tank fitting on, bog standard, you're right, Albert. It's not something that's going to be like immediate. Oh shit, that is a real gun.
Yeah.
But
I've never been. Like, from day one, I've been playing paintball for years, and I've never, ever been a fan of... as far as realistic for me, the nearest I got to a realistic gun was an A5.
Yeah. You see, the reason... I have always liked the realistic looking stuff. The difference was that because... when I was first looking at buy markers, I was looking at what was mag-fed at the time. And basically the only thing that was available was stuff from RAP 4.
Oh, with the Takamo conversion kits.
No, it wasn't even the Takamo. It was I think it was like the
T68.
Yeah, and it was like this was been around about 2004. I don't think the Takamo kits came out until like the early 10s, the early 2010s.
Because I had one of the first Takamo kits.
Sorry to butt in, but Tony's answered you back. The Supremacy Scope was designed by Karamatech, or whatever you call it, specifically for first strike rounds and round ball. He said if you search it, there's 2 articles for each at distance, the first strike and round ball. So
they've changed that since it first came out then, because I know when it originally came out it was a borrowed tech from crossbows.
I remember he used to have the commentator on the side, didn't it?
And develop. He's I mean, obviously the guy behind Karmatech, he's obviously constantly developing that thing.
Yeah,
because he's developed his own barrel specifically for first strike and for on it. He's developed his own scope for it.
Yeah,
I mean, he's obviously a clever bloke.
Yeah.
Now we just need to work out how to make an MG100 bolt action.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's entirely possible.
It's just called trigger control.
Yeah.
You pull the trigger once.
But that won't keep OMG events happy.
Well, Artwood's actually made a comment on this as well, saying OMG's reasoning for limiting snipers to first strike are the sights require cleaning up afterwards. First strike don't come in clear, so it's listing the amount of paint it's limiting the amount of paint to scrub off walls. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. I guess this is if you're playing in in Sunnybridge, for example.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, I know when I think we all played at Sunnybridge the year I did for the Tipman Challenge.
Yep.
There was having to wash down the clear paint because there was that much of it.
Yeah.
Have they brought a clear shell first strike out?
Not yet. No.
No. I'm surprised they haven't.
I would have thought that would have been more on the ball before 50.
Not...
I don't think it's first strike that brought the 50 cal out, is it? It's someone else, from what I understand. From what I've seen.
If it's someone else, I wonder how that works for patents and stuff then.
Because it's a different size, possibly, and because it's a different size, the fins will be a different design.
That could be it, because I did hear that one of the original ideas of pushing 50 cal was because of competing markets. 50 cal wasn't classed as a competing market. Is it for 68 cal, even though it blatantly was an attempt at that?
Yeah.
I'm just looking, and now it's sold at DEFCON paintballing. So I'm just looking now. It's still calling itself first strike rounds.
Right.
So
Well, I would think that would be a trademark name.
Yeah. Then. Brand.
Well,
first
could
strike.
be.
Yeah, it's the same brand.
Must be.
Utilize the combination of aerial fins technology. First Strike have now produced the 50 cal with 50% greater range than the 68.
Right. Well, that's
probably to do with the. Yeah, that
the combination
high
of
velocity,
aerodynamic shape and finned technology. The First Strike 50 cal projectile has a higher and longer velocity. The result is 50% greater range and unrivaled accuracy.
Right.
There we go. 50 cal. What's the betting? There's a 50 cal sar12 coming out soon.
Possibly.
There is a T15 machine pistol that is 50 cal converted. I'm just looking at it now on DEFCON paintball gear. Yeah, I First Strike T15 machine pistol.
I'm just thinking. I'm sure I looked at
cal conversion kit.
I'm sure I looked at it a while back, and 50 cal could shoot. 68 cal first strike could hit targets at around about 120 meters. That was like its extreme range. So if it is 50% bigger, you could be looking at what 180 meters for 50 cal first strike. If that's the case, range.
I've just had a thought that's just crossed my mind.
Sounds painful.
This might sound a bit. It would be painful. But there are companies out there that make 50 caliber air rifles.
Mm.
Mm.
How much difference? How much modification would it need to drop the FPS of a 50 cal air rifle to be able to shoot 50 cal first strike?
I wouldn't take much at all.
If it would depend on if it was a Springer or if it was a CO2. If it's a
PC.
Springer, then it's
50p, so it'd be compressed air.
Mm.
if it was compressed air, then
They're regulated like a paintball gun. Just a matter of
Yeah, the only problem with them is the integrated bottles, but
yeah, they are.
yeah. So there you go. There's your 50 cal sniper.
Yeah.
I just downloaded a copy of the sar12 manual just to have a look at the internals, and it does literally look like a
Nelson.
Well, a Sterling, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, which is a Nelson. Yeah, which isn't.
Well, stack tube Nelson,
yeah,
opposed to an inline, because it's not a tracer. It's it's more like
Well, that's interesting though.
Just on the topic of that, Mark, the Hidden Hedgehog didn't give it a very good review.
No, he didn't. He gave his back.
No, he didn't like it.
Yeah,
he got given one and
actually
didn't like it. Preferred his trace is Hammer 7.
Imagine you're given a £1,500 mark, and you're like, no thanks, I'll use me £70 pump gun.
Well, you see, now that's that to me would be, if that's genuinely how he feels, which I believe it's very well could be the case. But can you imagine that must have been a big slap in the face to the guy that makes?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
the guy's making a state-of-the-art sniper rifle, and arguably one of the biggest YouTubers who openly makes out that he is a paintball sniper, and he'd rather use his modified Hammer 7 than a £1,500 state-of-the-art sniper. Yeah, I would if I was that bloke, I'd be fuming.
Yeah. But I mean,
I'll be honest. If I was in Hedgehog's situation, even if I didn't like it, I'd have said, "Yeah, I like it. I'm going to nick the bits off it to make me Hammer 7 better." I'm going to nick the 20-inch Nemesis. I'm going to nick the scope off it.
Did he not do something at one point? Actually, did put the Hammer 7? Oh, sorry, the sar12 barrel on his hammers on one of his Hammer 7s for a while.
Yeah, and then I think he was. Then I think he had to give it back with the rest of it.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Do you think the more polite way of doing it will be to work with the bloke to make the gun better? Keep using it and work with the bloke.
Yeah,
and
tell him what you don't like and tell him how to make it better.
Yeah, not I don't like it here.
Yeah, we also don't know what happened behind the scenes. I mean, he may have actually tried that, and the guy could have told him where to go.
Maybe you don't know.
I mean, it could have been arrogance on either side. It could have just been a case of no, look. Well, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the one thing that would frustrate me with it is the fact that you've got such a big mag to carry around with it.
Yeah, but
I mean, it is definitely a mag. It is definitely a paintball gun that's made to look like a real one that happens to be a really good sniper, rather than a paintball sniper optimized.
Yeah,
paintball optimized sniper rifle.
Paul Cross has put here that paintball regulators on air rifles are way behind paintball markers.
Gas regulators on air rifles.
He said the technology is like years behind us. We've got way better regulators than an air rifle.
I wonder if
I do believe though that the ones that run on a compressed air bottle come out with the same thread at the end of the bottle as what we do, so there won't be a lot to stop you running a paintball regulator setup through.
And then
you mean like one of them standalone rigs that you see people putting on old pumps? Put one of them on.
You could run an ASA into a fixed macro line into the bottom of, say, something like a
CP reg or something.
TPB reg, with then another sort of fixed ASA at the end of it to give you a fitting to go into the gun.
I don't think you'd even need to do that. I think you could literally just put like a macro fitting, not a macro fitting, put a remote line fitting onto the bottom, directly onto the bottom of a regulator, and just run it like that, and then just screw the regulator into the ASA on wherever on the air rifle. If you want to try and do something along the lines of that.
Well, I mean, if you got it right, you could use a normal HPA tank, an ASA with a output at the end of it, get a double male fitting air fitting, screw it straight into the ASA, straight into the bottom of the regulator, and then the regulator threads into the back of the gun.
Yeah.
The main issue with that is that makes it far too easily to adjust the velocity on your air rifle, i.e. making it FAC or not FAC at the turn of a thing. And I mean, I know there is plenty of air rifles out there that you can't do that with from stock, i.e. turning and compressing the springs more type thing, or putting shims in.
Yeah.
But all of that is wildly illegal without an FAC license.
Yeah, see, because the thought process is to be able to bring it down to below the legal limit of the. Is it 12? What's the legal limit for
12
foot-pound?
12.5 foot-pound for a rifle, 6.5 foot-pound for pistols.
Yeah, to bring it under that 12.5 foot-pound, so you can fire a 50 cal first strike at less than 450 FPS.
Sorry to change the subject a bit, but have any of you been watching what Nicky T's been putting up? The From the Vault Mission Paintball, what used to be on Bravo. Yeah, he was one of the episodes of that up with it. Brought back some memories.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the things that really kind of they piqued my interest in paintball. Was sitting watching Mission Paintball. I must have been watching it throughout the night when I was like still in school.
Oh, Bravo! Yeah, it used to be on really late on Bravo.
Yeah. I've not played it that long.
I wasn't playing it at the time.
You know, the thing that got me interested in paintball was the TV show Crossfire.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd seen anything to do with paintball.
Yeah. I think that was probably the case for quite a few people, but
with Mission Paintball,
10 when that came out.
You had some of the big names in British paintball, and you had the Bonsai Bandits, K2, Mayhem Tigers. You know, it was
These are Grizzlies.
Yeah,
Leeds is actually
a legendary paintball team.
Yeah, Leeds is actually in an episode of Crossfire.
Well, what I liked about Mission Paintball was it was actually held at a paintball site, and they were playing actual paintball games. It wasn't where that Crossfire was a bit
cheesy.
Crossfire was a
Well, this was two teams playing best of three.
Yeah, but they didn't just play against each other with Mission Paintball. They also had challenges target shooting and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it was held at Campaign.
Yeah, cool. I didn't know it was held at Campaign.
Yeah, and the final was held at Crystal Palace Stadium.
Yeah.
You know,
go on, bugger off. Go on.
Dex has fallen over.
No, the dog's wanting food.
The imaginary dog.
And I had a thing for one of the presenters as well.
Right then. I don't know where to take that.
Emily Booth?
I know the name, but I don't know the face.
She's an actress, played in a lot of B movie horrors.
I probably know the face then, but I can't.
I'm not as good as Chan. I can't share stuff on, but
let's see. Doghouse, Shadow of the Dead, Cradle Fear.
Oh yeah, I'm just
Flesh, Inbred, Witchcraft.
I'm
Oh,
trying.
you want a picture of her?
I'm trying to find a fit picture where she's not naked.
I've got a few. I mean,
can't-
some of them are very borderline, like.
I can't say I recognise her.
You will. She's still on the horror channel. She still does presenting on the horror channel, like in between the movies.
I don't tend to watch much TV, in all fairness. So
You'll know it, Dex. You'll know it.
Oh, I found a picture of her standing with a.
Auto
Yeah,
topless.
it's a Bell Seals Evo.
Yeah,
It
topless.
is as well.
Yeah.
No, not topless.
Oh, she's topless. On the wall.
family friendly channel, guys. Family friendly channel.
She's
No, she's
topless.
not
on
topless.
that.
See?
Yeah, that's actually a better photo. If you pull it up again, you might even remember Dex.
No, yes.
I think I have seen that photo before. Yeah.
She's been in loads of she's a British actress, but she's
Yeah.
starred in lots of B movie horrors, and she was on Bravo a lot. She was one of the main presenters of Bravo. And yeah, she did Mission Paintball.
Yeah. But yeah, I can remember. Well,
Definitely worth watching what Nikki T's put up. Definitely, but anything that Nikki P puts up's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah.
Well, 100%.
yes.
I must say, I've been watching a lot of.
But I haven't had a chance to watch any of it.
I've been watching some of his training drills and the way the guy explains stuff. He, he does it very down to earth, very laid back.
The way Nicky T can talk, he like you say, he's down to earth, but he doesn't make you feel like an idiot.
Oh, exactly. He had 4 or 5 people doing what he was telling them. Like you say, the way he wasn't patronizing, and he was telling them where they were going wrong. And even this one lass, she was doing the same mistake over and over again, and he was just taking his time with her, and until she got it right. And it wasn't like, I mean,
that's it. It's not like you get
I know a few players that could do with going to some of his clinics.
I would definitely, if I ever got the chance, I would definitely do one of his clinics. Like, well, 100%.
Yeah,
if I got the chance.
Albert needs to learn how to look behind himself on a church field.
I'll stick mirrors on. I'll stick mirrors on the side of my glasses, shall I?
Yeah, that'd be quite a good idea actually. Rear view mirrors on your mask.
Oh, hell, I'm supposed to be able to see behind.
I wonder if we can get you like a little rear view mirror just for the tip of your barrel.
Yeah.
When you're shooting, you can try and keep an eye on what's going on behind you.
Either side, you did end up like the scooters out the 60s with hundreds of mirrors all attached to your marker, all in different angles.
Yeah, pretty sure it can be done. I did actually see something.
Yeah, and they've got like hundreds of mirrors. I've just got that video of that now.
Yeah, proper mod, like a mod marker.
Yeah.
But I did actually see something a while ago, and it was meant to be designed for people that had maybe had the bad necks where they couldn't turn around as easy on their bikes. It was for road bikes with the dropped handlebars that you could stick like a little bung in at the end of the handlebar that you could then fold out, and it had a little rear view mirror on it. So you could, as you're riding along, just flip the little mirror out and then be able to look down and see what's going on behind you. Yeah. Wonder if we could do something there for Albert.
Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Just saying, I did see something a little while ago where it was a rear view mirror for like racing bikes. So you didn't have to look behind you; you could just look in this little rear view mirror that you could fold out from your bar ends.
Have it attached to the hopper or something.
Yeah, that's it. I just think the tip of your
fold the mirror out from your where?
Well, the only problem with that for Albert is you'd have to mount it in the end of the barrel, and then you wouldn't be able to shoot anyone.
Well, that's it. But I'm pretty sure we could make like a little folding one that just clamps onto the end of the barrel. I'm thinking like if we get Chan and maybe 3D print a little like GoPro type mount, and then they have a little folding mirror on it. Be awesome.
To be fair, it wouldn't take much. We could put Land Rover rear view. Land Rover wing mirror.
We'll make them a new pump handle and fold out of the pump handle.
Yeah.
And then like when he's pumping, it's like got zoom mode on it. Closer, pull away, closer.
They're getting closer.
Objects in this mirror may be closer than they appear.
I'll be trying to
And
barrel
then
tag
Colin's
somebody.
face just
Oh, dear.
Yeah, to be fair, Colin, I'm not the only person that you barrel tag. It's not as if it's only ever me. You barrel tag.
You're the only person I've ever done in a 1v1. I mean,
That was quite good.
Yeah, you had
talk about humiliation of being barrel tagged in 1v1.
You had home
I
advantage.
don't
I'd
feel
never
I
played
had home
that field,
field advantage.
and I'd never played that field before.
Yeah, I did have home field advantage. I'll give you that one.
And if you played like me and Dex did, you wouldn't have barrel tagged us.
What do you mean?
Because that field was huge. Me and Dex played a
Across the
third of that field.
Yep.
And
Well, we did that the second time, and it still didn't work for you.
you did. You wouldn't have played the full field. It was huge. You would have took. Christ, we could have been playing forever. 1-on-1 and like a huge field, man.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It was a good field though.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely go down and play that site again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Colin's 31st birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin's birthday bash.
I've been recently talking to Chris, he's site manager.
Yeah.
And apparently in the last year, the bill for wood for the site for building stuff from the local wood yard was over 20 grand. That's how much that they've been investing in that site.
You see now,
That's
makes me
this year. Yeah, that is just this year.
Yeah.
It is a good site.
That's a lot of wood.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that Chris and Jules have got wood.
Yeah, lots of wood.
Chris is carrying a bit of timber.
Ooh,
That's what she said. But no, yeah, they've properly invested in that site.
talking of sites, where do we use guys reckon is the best site that is central? So like it's not too far from any. Obviously, the lads are coming from Scotland. It doesn't matter where they come from. It's going to be 5-6 hours. But like a central site that it's decent.
YPC.
YBC.
I haven't been to YPC for a couple of years, admittedly, but YPC was.
YPC is pretty damn central. It's smack bang in the middle of the country.
I was there 3 months ago.
Mhm.
Hasn't changed.
If it is still the same and hasn't changed, then yes, I would definitely say YPC. YPC
like
is probably one of my favorite sites in the country.
By what I say, it hasn't changed. He's looking after the site. It's
Good.
not, you know what I mean? It's not point blank where the place is dropping to bits. You know, the bridge is still in use. He's still using that bit that he made for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know, that little island with the building. That's all still there. He has a sub-airfield now.
Fantastic.
You know,
But one other site that I would say is a pretty damn good site is Bawtry.
Yeah.
Bawtry for the Red Alert games was absolutely incredible site.
Bawtry was the site that had the Star Wars themed stuff.
Ewok Village.
They had,
Got burnt down.
it was such a shame that got burnt down because that was an incredible field.
It's one of the best paintball structures I've ever played.
It was like a 3D village field.
3D maze, wasn't it?
Yeah. You ended up in one little hut, and then it's like, how the hell do I get back down again? You were having to go up to come back down 2 levels to then go up another level to get back down to the ground again. It's like, what the hell?
I don't think he's interested in doing walk-ons full stop now. That is purely just a pull aside, because I do know that Paul has asked a couple of times and he's not interested. He makes his money on punters.
Yeah.
Skirmish Nottingham, another great site, and central, not far off the A1.
Yeah. See, to about my favorite site is it's a bit of a difficult one for me because I don't actually get out and play like enough sites regular enough for it to be able to go right. This is my favorite site. YPC is one that is like sticks with us because I have played YPC quite a lot really over the time I've played paintball, and even then that's not that many times. You're not getting more chips.
What?
Shut up.
Why I'm asking is in a couple of years' time, it's a big one for me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it's going to be me. 50.
Yes.
So yeah, hey, what did you just say there? You get.
Yeah. It could have been mean. I could have said you 70.
Yeah. And I just like I say, I could just do it at BZ. It would be easy enough for me. But what I'm wanting to try and do is get as many people that I know who play paintball together.
You can't moan at me, Albert. Paul Cross has just said 100 question mark.
No, I'm not as old as Paul.
How many years away is this?
2.
2 years. Save up and go and play Living Legends or what is replacing Living Legends.
I would love to, but it would not.
Or EBG.
I think if you want if for the post like a birthday game or something, I think it's a bit unreasonable for to say right we're going to another country.
I would
People do it with weddings.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to, but I've got two problems. One, I don't have a passport. 2,
how did they let you out of the northeast then?
a snake.
Yeah, hides in the back of my car.
Quick, we're going over the border. We'll have to put you into the.
I've never been on a family holiday since my son was 2. So if I was to turn around and say to my wife, "I'm going to America to play paintball," yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
Well, we can do it as a surprise.
Yeah, we could kidnap Albert.
No, unless I was to win the lottery, that ain't gonna happen.
You just have to go in the landing gear, Albert.
Yeah, yeah. No, like realistically, because I'm wanting as many I know paintball.
Just see what Paul Cross has said.
You didn't need one when you were in Normandy in 1944. I know off people. Do you know that, Paul?
You see, Paul, that's because there was no French in the area for to actually take a passport at the time.
Oh, that's brilliant. Nice one.
Albert was in some battle in 1066.
There's another... Richie, did just you wait, mate? Blue on blue. I know what Richie looks like. I don't know what Paul looks like, so Richie's got some of the... Now, getting back to what I said, right? Because I'm wanting to organise a game.
Yeah.
And I'm wanting it as central as I can because, like I say, I'm wanting as many paintballers that I know to come and play. So,
what time of year is your birthday? I forget.
September.
That's actually a reasonable sort of time of year as well.
So,
this don't take this the wrong way.
18th of September.
But is the Stargate site still open?
By all accounts, it's just dangerous now. You wouldn't dare run across the top of where the Stargate was. You'd fall through it. It's proper run down.
I think that's because since Stargate ended, it probably hasn't really been worked on. I mean, I don't know if I'm right in saying that, but it certainly hasn't held any sort of games that I'm aware of since the end of Stargate.
Well, this was what I was thinking is like kind of if you're going to have it as go for your birthday, if the site was still well maintained, book it as a giant walk on the Stargate site.
Yeah.
That'd be immense.
I tell you what would be cool, since we did just mention the site before, but Skirmish Nottingham, the hyperball field that they're expanding out in the back would be pretty cool to play on if there's a load of work.
Hyperball.
Like all
Yeah, that's a
the
long
big
time.
black plastic
Yeah,
cubes
yeah, yeah.
and all that
I've
sort
played on
of
it.
stuff.
I've played on it. I haven't played on a hyperball field in a long, long time.
Yeah.
I think it was
that'd be
Japan the
cool.
last time I played on one of them.
The skirmish superheroes versus villains is in September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could always make that weekend your birthday, because that's, yeah, it's not a walk-on, but it's not much more than a walk-on.
Mm.
Yeah, with two birds, one stone, really, because a lot of them are going to be there anyway.
Yeah. That's it. Just take over an event that's already on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then-
after all the charity announcements, it's like, yeah, it's Albert's birthday. Now we're going to do this.
Yeah, everyone who's coming for Albert's birthday is going to sign up for villains.
Yeah.
See, because I'm still working on my Mars Attacks game, so that's why I was thinking of a standalone site. I would love to be YPC, but the problem I've got there is I know quite a few people who will not play against YPC, which is an absolute dying shame. But that's the way paintball is. We can't get away from paintball politics. I'd love to, but there is a lot of people who will not play YPC, which is. Tell you what, right? I went there 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been nicer.
Oh.
He walked around shaking everybody's hands. He was talking to everybody. He was, he was brilliant, Andy. Yeah. I don't have a problem with Andy, but
no, I mean, I never had a problem with Andy.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Even at the height of the whole sort of the drama from a few years back, even at the height of that, Andy was always spot on with me and the rest of the guys from Nest. He said that we were always welcome at YPC.
I'm just laughing at what Richie Wrong put. You should rename heroes to the good, the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly Albert.
That's not nice, Richie.
You're not that ugly.
No, that's not fair.
I made us laugh.
That's not nice.
No, but I can't go into detail because it involves who my main. You can't say sponsor, can you? My main supporter is, but yeah.
Yes.
No, they don't get on.
Yeah.
Well, what's near YPC that's in totally away from that side of politics?
The thing is, you would want an independent site that nobody's really. I don't know. I think it would just have to be an independent site that. And I don't know where that would be.
Combat zone.
What?
Combat zone.
All right.
Well, combat zone's still a fair few hours away. I mean, what was combat zone for us? About like a 2 hour, 3 hour, well, 3 hours or something.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, but then it's probably combat zone is it might be 2 and a bit hours for you, but then it's probably about 4 and a bit hours for the likes of Rich Weidenbar and that. That's
sorry. It was 5 hours for us. It was 2.5 hours at District 23, and then 2.5 hours actually on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, we're nipped in to get some goggle wipes. And
2 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 hours from here is sort of you're going south. You're basically at Mayhem.
Yeah.
So you're sort of top side of London at 2.5 hours. So realistically, central, you're even further south than us.
Yeah.
You're talking probably, I don't know, PPK, Paintball Park, Kidderminster. That's probably.
Enough that to say, I wouldn't mind playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a
play. That's pretty central.
Mm-hmm.
That same sort of longitude, it's just further across.
Maybe.
Or
we're just.
Or.
Wait till OMG's putting a game on at Sennybridge, and we'll just have the birthday game at Sennybridge.
Evening, Mr. Taylor.
Not an £140 ticket, like.
But that was the upper end of the pricing. There was other ticket prices as well.
Yeah, what was the lower end?
The lower end was like 60 quid.
I'm
Yeah.
And that entitles you to what?
I'm not actually sure at the moment. I would have to have a look through, but the price is scaled up depending on what you actually wanted from like £60, and I think the £60 was say if you hadn't played an OMG event before or something, and then it slowly went up, and you got more paint and you got extras out of it, like grenades and things like that as well.
Which he said to tell Taz to open Frozone. The only problem is there, mate. He hasn't got the land no more. They kicked him off. The landlord wanted the site back, and it is no more. Yeah.
Frozone at Annan was a great site.
It was.
55 quid if you've been at Paint Fest the week before.
And it includes a bag of paint.
Right,
there you
so
go.
2 hoppers worth. But
I know
that the sandwich game was a Margaret game.
I know what we need to do for Albert's birthday. We'll take him out.
Yes, so, Bridge or Coppill Down.
Coppill Down would be a good one.
Yep. But not Magfed, I'm sorry, no.
But
that would be.
We'll take you out. We'll take you out.
The only place I would get out going from Magfed game is just winding them all up. I definitely have that T-shirt where Magfed is just stock class in drag.
Yep,
and I'll probably get me sell a big banner as well.
Yeah, I do think I still think it would be funny just to see if anyone would bite for the get a banner made up with Magfed as just stock class and drag and sit down and do the whole sort of
put it around the table.
Yeah, put it over a table.
Change my mind.
Yeah, change my mind and just see if anyone would come up and just try and have the conversation with you. I think it would be good fun.
What we should do at Paint Fest when we have 5 minutes in between games.
Yeah,
a table down because they've got airsofters there as well. Because there's also Paint Fest and Airfest on at the same event.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have fun.
You see, yeah, that's it. On like one day, do the Magfed is just stock class and drag, and have a table set up as that, and then the second day have a table, Magfed is airsoft for big boys. Change my mind.
The biggest problem with your stock class in drag is, I dare say, the vast majority of the people who play Magfed don't actually know what stock class is.
Yeah, you're right there.
Oh, they don't. Yes, I kind of blame myself a little bit for the open class thing, but there's a lot of people use open class to mean, like a lot of Magfed players now use open class to describe anything that isn't paintball, that isn't Magfed, and I think I suggested that something along the lines of that to Paul quite a while ago. It's like as a brief catch-all. And open class is actually a style of pump play, which like I played a lot, Albert plays it a lot, most pump players play it a lot. But then you've got your stock class, which is the really, really early sort of pump way. Obviously, you only had stick feeds and 12-round tubes.
Probably the purest form of paintball, because that's the original game, is 10 shots in a spring-loaded tube and a small CO2.
Gravity tube? Yeah. No springs in stock class.
All right, gravity.
Yeah, it's not even gravity.
Rock and cock.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I suppose that is kind of gravity, isn't it? Because you have got a rocket and then gravity takes over. But yeah, it's no no spring feeds. It's supposed to be vertical to the body. You can't have slam fire. So my stock class Phantom isn't. Yeah, sorry, horizontal to the body. My stock class Phantom isn't actually stock class because it can be slam fired. It's supposed to have nothing more than a 15-round feed tube. And it is supposed to be just a single 12-gram at a time.
Yeah, basically a PGP.
A PGP, I'm not even sure if you can slam fire a PGP.
No, I don't think you can.
Tried.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be bloody hard to slam fire a PGP. They're hard enough to just fire once as it is.
Yeah, you would have an arm like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, I was using Craig Gassie's PGP at District 23.
Yeah,
and it was one of the smoothest ones. It was really, but even then, it was still Jesus.
Yeah,
you know. And I tried slam firing it. The good thing is you can actually, on the one Gassie's got, you can actually pull the handle back, let go of it, pull the trigger, and the handle shoots back itself.
Bloody hell! You must have some good springs in that, because the ones that I had, you could not do that.
I was getting 230 to 240 out of a PGP, which is the highest I've ever gotten out of a PGP.
My PGP, I got a PGP. I put loads of mods onto it. I had the adjustable back cap. I had the feed tube modification. So it basically was like the speed feed for it.
Yeah.
I had the extended 12-gram changer on the front. I put all that onto it. I cleaned it up. It was gleaming when I got it. When I sorted it all out, I took it out in the range, put it over a chronograph, and it wouldn't even register on the chronograph. I was gutted. So it's like I've tried putting shifts in, I tried polishing up the valve and everything. Didn't matter what I did, that thing would not shoot. It just wouldn't register on a chronograph.
So I put in it Sterling Springs.
Yeah.
The springs, I got them from. Oh God, I'm trying to think of his name. John.
Yeah.
He's always selling gear. What, John Guest?
John Guest, yeah.
I got the Sterling you've got. That's who I got. And he gave me a load of gear. He goes, look, I've got a load of old stuff here. No good to me. You can have it. And there was somebody actually color coded these Sterling Springs.
Yeah.
And there was a little piece of paper in telling me what color was what FPS, and it was spot on. I was really,
nice.
I don't know who did it, but it was absolutely spot on within a small tolerance, but still.
Yeah.
But that's what I put in Gassie's PGP was two of the red springs that was Sterling.
Yeah.
Well, here's something for you. I was scrolling through my Facebook feed earlier, and there was a poll that had been put up by Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
About should marker hits count?
Oh God. Yes. Anywhere on the body counts.
Well, now this is again we're going back into sort of paintball versus milsim sort of stuff. If you were playing a milsim event and you get hit on your marker, I'm prepared to accept, like, right, you've been hit on the marker, that's your marker, then out of the game, you can't use it, but you are still an active player. You then have to swap to a primary or just ditch. You'd have to swap to a secondary, or you'd have to ditch your marker or just not use it. I'm prepared to accept that in a milsim game, because then, you know, you're trying to go down the route of real life sort of stuff. Well, if you got shot in the marker, that wouldn't take you out of real combat. But in a game of paintball, no, every shot counts in a game of paintball.
I think you're finding a real life situation if an actual bullet hit your gun, right, you wouldn't be in the game anymore.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it would depend on where it hit. I mean, if like
I don't know.
You'd probably still be alive, but you'd be very badly injured with shrapnel, probably.
Yeah,
potentially.
And I'm not being funny. A typical, let's say, M4 probably wouldn't stop a bullet. To be fair.
Yeah, but it also depends. You know, it's not to say that it's going to be coming from the front, is it? I mean, it could come from the side or anywhere.
I'm more thinking if it came from the side, it's probably going to go straight through the side of an M4.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of it is composite plastic.
Composite plastic or aluminium.
I think you'd be very lucky if you're not injured.
No, if it goes straight through the side of the mag, sets off a chain fire.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The mag blows up.
It could, but
I've seen that tested. It doesn't work.
I've seen M16s and M4s fire and the whole mag explodes in a chain fire.
That will probably be cook-off.
Yeah,
shooting a mag. I've seen people shoot mags of bullets and it doesn't do it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're bound to have seen stuff like where they've done barrel melt tests on things like, was it the MG42 or things like that, or saws and stuff, where
I've seen meltdown.
They shoot them until the barrel melts.
I've seen
meltdown. The video I'm on about wasn't that. He literally put the mag in, fired one shot, fired the second, and the whole mag just went into bits everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's done that.
Stuff like that's quite rare.
I must admit, like, not going into other stuff, but I used to love watching Red Jacket on Sky. Yeah, I don't know if any of you used to watch that Red Jacket.
No, I never watched it.
I used to like it.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, Tony. One of my T-shirts is the Magfred is like airsoft for big boys. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, personally, on the subject we were on of the whole marker hits. To me, yeah, you get hit on the marker, it breaks. Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes, genuinely, sometimes people will get hit on the hopper or whatever, and they don't actually realise. Which
Yes.
I can understand some people saying, "Well, you should discount marker hits," but on the whole, if you do get hit on the hopper, someone will tell you that you've been hit on the hopper.
Yeah.
Or the person who shot you on the hopper will be screaming at you.
Yeah.
And it also, if you don't count marker hits, all you're going to end up with is people poking a gun round the corner, and yeah, the gun's going to get plastered. They're going to be hiding behind it, or just a tiny little bit poking out that you can't hit.
Yeah.
Sorry to put in, but just Tony's saying sounds like a program pre me being born. If he's on about Red Jacket, no, it was only like maybe 2-3 years ago. It was on the Discovery Channel. It was an American firearms company that used to primarily make silencers for shotguns. But then they used to do other stuff, AK-47s.
Yeah.
Somebody would come in with some weird and wonderful idea, and they would make it. Like you're talking chain guns. They made the old. I don't know if you've ever seen them. The absolute huge gun that used to be mounted on the front of a boat, and they would fire it, and it would bring down literally entire flocks of geese in one. It would one shot.
A punt gun.
A punt gun. Yeah.
Punt gun.
Yeah, they actually made one of them on the back of a vehicle as an anti-aircraft gun.
Right.
I mean, they used to make some weird and wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Punt guns were basically shotguns, but
ginormous. It'd take about 4 people to carry it, and it used to be mounted on a boat, didn't it? Yeah. Well, yeah, not getting into the ins and outs of it, but the program's not on telly no more because of, I don't really want to get into it, but the bloke wasn't a nice person.
Right.
But Red Jacket, yeah, it was really good. It was
Was that the program that did they do it like a Chinese dragon, Marduk?
Yes. Yep, they did. Yes.
Yeah.
It was it was
all like green and red and.
Yeah, like Paul put, he was a bad man, definitely.
He's a bad lad.
I don't want to go into more detail, but not on air anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it this way, he's in jail and he'll not be coming back out.
Well,
ever.
If it's that bad, he probably deserves to be there.
Oh, definitely without doubt.
But
you know what Americans' laws like? This guy will not be seeing the light of day ever again.
Yeah.
Yes, Richie, you're right, but I'm not going to see anything else.
Yeah. That's it. We don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
John says all body marker hopper shots should count. Yes, I agree. Yeah. If you are playing normal paintball and that is it, then yes, all body marker blah 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 should count. Yes.
BZ went through a period where we used to go to different sites. Once a month, we'd pick a site and go. And we went to this one site, and the head marshal, this made me laugh, he was dressed up like a backstop on an American baseball. You know, the army. Right? Yeah. He's wearing all that gear, and I'm looking at him thinking, what the hell? And then he turned around and he goes, all right, lads, I just want you all to know that the members don't like cleaning their guns, so marker shots don't count. So guess where we were shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of gun cleaning. Yeah, they don't like cleaning the guns, so gunshots don't count. We're like, you what?
Red rag to a ball.
Oh, that's it. I'll try and shoot whatever I can see. That's
honestly, never met such a bunch of poses in all my life. There was one guy with 2 TPXs, and he had all the dreadlock gear on, and he's doing all the poses like this while he's shooting. And we can imagine.
I think you're going to talk about me there for a second.
Wow, Paul. Wow, Thomas. stomach rotten. And Thomas was like, "Right, lads, I'll pay for the paint all weekend. This weekend, just absolutely blitz them." Because it was really, because they were literally like gangster style. He's standing like this, shooting with his guns and posing, and then complaining if he got shot in his gun. So that was it. He was like, "I'll buy." He literally went out. He says, "Hey, there you go." And he give us all a box of paint each, and just like, yeah, just blitz them. It's horrendous. Oh, well, Richie's now retracted his message. I want to know what Richie was going to put there. In fact, no, I don't. I've just realised it's Richie. I don't want to know what he retracted. If he's retracted it, it's bad.
I did see it, and it wasn't anything particularly bad.
No,
I don't think it was. It didn't. I didn't read it as being something bad, but unless I'm missing context,
I think from what I saw, he was saying someone else took over the red jacket thing.
Yes, yeah, they basically did. Yeah, somebody else took over. The actual guy who was the main brains of it. Really, really intelligent bloke, and it's still known as Red Jacket, and he took it all over. But also, there's a few of them, and they've all went their own ways, and they all have their own little YouTube videos now. Where, like I say, this is quite a big thing. It was on Discovery, which is quite a and it was just interesting because they went really into the mechanics of everything they were making. It's like one was they made a multi-barreled shot. You've got the chain gun.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was a shotgun.
Nice.
They pulled the trigger, and the whole thing moved, and then loaded another shotgun. So it was like a 6-barreled shotgun on the premises that it was 6 individual guns, but every time you fired it, the whole thing would move, and then you fired the next shot, and then it would move again, and it had actual magazines going around the outside. It was.
Speaking of that sort of thing, I actually saw something yesterday that I saw and just thought, I wonder if we can get that legally for paintball. Have you ever heard of a certain device called a can cannon?
A can cannon. Yeah, the fires the cork can.
Yes.
Yes.
They actually made one.
The can cannon that fires, it uses blanks to launch cans.
You've seen the devastation them cans do. They had them firing them at targets, and they were like going off like anti-personnel devices.
I saw a video of someone using a can with the top cut out of it, full of paintballs.
Oh god! No, the one I've seen, they actually had full cans of pop, and they were firing them at watermelons. And I swear to God, it was hitting the watermelon. It was going off like an anti-personnel. Like,
it shoots them at some velocity. I know that, but I wonder if you could use it as like a mortar fire, just launch hundreds of paintballs up into the
air. Just going off what Richie put, Joe took over the company and renamed it. Yes, I obviously used to watch it as well, Richie. Yeah, I was struggling for the lads' names, but I used to, definitely, used to watch that all the time. You are.
Why is Dex muted?
I did something to the I did something to the stream there before for us. I didn't know how to fix it, so I had to mute myself to then for it to
What the hell have I done now? Swearing your ear off.
No, it was for some reason I think I accidentally clicked on my thumbnail, and then that locked the screen on just me. So when you were talking, you weren't actually going full screen. So then I was trying to work out what it was, so I hid myself.
Yeah, that doesn't have any effect on the live stream. That's only just within your Google view.
All right. Well, in that case, either way, it's fixed then now. it's fixed from me then.
Yeah. So do you reckon a can cannon would be legal in the UK so we can launch paintballs at people?
Yeah, probably
because essentially you've got to have it screwed on the front of an M4 to fire it.
Yeah.
Which you can have an M4 legally in the UK if you have a license for it.
Do you have a license?
And it's not designed to fire projectiles. Well, it is, but the bullet doesn't fire projectiles.
You're going into really dangerous waters there if you're taking an actual weapon onto a paintball field. I know
it can't fire bullets.
But it is still
Could you a TMC?
I think you just no.
It's a very, very grey area.
Yeah. You're using blank ammunition to fire. No.
Well, you say that, but airsofters use BFG grenades, which use 9mm blanks or shotgun blanks.
Yeah, but that's airsoft.
That's an impact grenade.
Yeah, but that's airsoft.
You could. There's nothing to stop you legally using it in paintball either. BFG is basically it's a metal box that you put a blank in it, and when it hits the ground, it moves something which fires the blank.
Yeah. John says, "What about t-shirt guns? Safer than cans."
T-shirt guns are horrifically expensive.
Yes, I've been looking into one, and it's, again, they can shift a t-shirt. So you imagine with a paintballs, the t-shirt cannons full.
See,
Do some damage with one of them.
I want to get my channel popularity where I can afford to just buy shitloads of t-shirts and just launch them at people at events.
What aim them specifically at people?
In a game, so just launch a t-shirt and go.
So one better launch. One better take it onto the field and launch them at people.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like you've just been eliminated by a t-shirt from my YouTube channel.
You're gonna snap shoot with a t-shirt cannon.
That would be good. That
I'm not being funny. You could probably make it like if you made a captivated plunger, you could make it to just launch multiple paintballs all at once.
I'm kind of thinking there. If you get it so that the t-shirt opened out in midair, like a ball, and then so you fire the t-shirt onto someone.
Richie Wong.
All you need is a couple of ball bearings, 2 on the sleeves, 2 on the bottom corners.
It sounds great in theory, but I'm also afraid it might kill people.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to kill everyone. You just end up with loads of your t-shirts stuck in trees.
be good if you could specifically load certain t-shirts and fire them at certain people.
Yeah, but then I would want to just go out in public with it, with like t-shirts loaded in saying you're a prick.
Exactly.
Just change the barrel out for like a six round drum mag that you rotate by hand. Yeah, it's like an M203.
You can actually get a t-shirt cannon where you preload it, so it holds about 10 t-shirts, and it's a barrel that rotates and to fire the next one.
Nice.
Get it right, you have a chain-fed one.
Yeah.
Imagine people walking out with concussion off a t-shirt. Oh, yeah, I've been knocked out by Dexter's t-shirt.
As Richie says, their t-shirt gun, killed Maud Flanders.
So that's what needs to be on the t-shirts then.
What? Kill Maud?
I was knocked out by a t-shirt by Dexter's t-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
I was knocked out by Dexter's load at so-and-so event.
Yeah.
I got blasted by the ginger cannon at event.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
By the soup cannon.
Firing a Nerf grenade out of a t-shirt cannon. I'm just reading what John Taylor's put.
Use a Nerf grenade and load up with a paint mixture in a t-shirt gun.
Well, isn't that basically what do you call it?
John, there is something very wrong with getting a slap from a wet t-shirt if Dex is wearing it.
What was the...
My boobs are glorious.
What was the grenade launchers that were on top of that tank that Wolf was going around?
Havoc launchers.
Yeah, well, that's basically you put Nerf in them.
Yeah.
That's what the Americans take tanks out with. It's one of them with a Nerf rocket in.
Tommy Webb fires smoke grenades with his.
Yeah, but you can... Like in America, I've seen it when they're playing with tanks.
Oh yeah, the rules. Yeah.
them Vortex rockets. One of them.
Yeah,
And
I can't remember what they call that. Was it the Nerf? Was it Nerf Vortex?
Yes, and
Yes.
you also had the
Whistles.
Metadyne. The Metadyne launcher.
Yeah, it's the Metadyne Havoc launcher.
You had them. You had, I know a few people have made their own versions. There's quite a few on the net where you can make. They fire the CO2 sparklet, and they're purely designed to fire the Nerf rocket.
Yeah, well, I've seen people make them out of like PVC tubing.
Yep.
See, if I was going to have one, I would have to have. I've wanted a Metadyne launcher for years. They
I saw a pretty good version of a one that somebody made, and it looked exactly like the what's the disposable rocket launcher that the American forces use? Is it Lars?
Law.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Paul's just sent me a photograph of a double revolver T-shirt cannon.
That's
at a
when I was on.
basket. Oh my Lord!
The one that it's got a giant, like a revolver at one end. What was the one?
It's like a giant revolver being fired by a kangaroo or something.
Bloody hell!
It's insane. Hang on, I'm just going to share it to our little organising chat.
Right.
Sorry, Dex XXXXL.
What
Yes, I think that was in reference to my.
Chat's reaction's like, what?
Oh my God!
No, that's not as big as the one I was on about. Jesus Christ!
Bloody hell!
I is 2 as well, was.
The thing is, it's the kangaroo's face as well. The face is just like
If you get that to play a
to put
paintball,
that up on the screen. Because that's like a double barrel revolver T-shirt cannon.
Jesus Christ!
that is
What
just
Albert?
ridiculous.
That thing is a beast.
If you could modify that,
There was actual.
Because think of a few people that could die on a paintball field, drown on a paintball field.
There was actual revolvers made on the same premise as that. That gun. I'm talking like early sort of.
Yeah.
The puckle gun.
No, not the puckle gun. There's
Well, no, not
revolvers.
It does actually look like that cannon. It's got 2 barrels and an inner and outer ring to the cylinder. So it's essentially a double-barreled revolver, so it'll fire 2 rounds per pull. But it's under and over, so
Reloading
in the top.
in the article.
The thing is, with a T-shirt, with that T-shirt cannon, that's got to be. That's going to have a big air supply.
Oh yeah.
If not hooked to a compressor.
I wonder how many shots if just say like of a 1.1 tank. I wonder how many shots you get.
Probably 1.
3.
One double shot probably, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, three pumps and that'd be it.
That's what she said.
But
Paul Cross says, "Could you make it to the 50 with it?"
I'd give it a try. I don't think
to be fair,
with
something like that, it wouldn't matter whether they were behind cover or not. It just the first one would knock the cover over, the next one would just hit them.
And just you launch T-shirt through the 50 bunker, watching the team on the other side of the field going, "Jesus Christ, artillery!" The first ever tournament team to call in an artillery airstrike.
Dum, 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 dum.
Oh
dear.
Anyway, guys, I think it's probably about time that we're starting to wrap this up.
Yeah, we passed what I wrote down ages ago.
Oh my lord! He sent me another one.
Go on, then. We've got to have a look at this.
This isn't quite as extreme, but it's not far off.
Right.
This looks like this is a radio-controlled car, though. At the same time.
What? Yeah. Bloody hell.
Got like 2 scuba tanks on it.
2 scuba tanks, yeah. Yeah. It looks like it fires 6 in one go by the looks of it.
6 in one go. Do you reckon that's maybe a rotating barrel?
I think so. I think that's a
You can see
rotating
that.
battery.
2 scuba tanks, and obviously it's mobile, like you say. Like you said, it looks like it's as if you can move it because it's on some sort of wheels.
Thing is, you see that person that's like standing in front of it. You don't think that's like probably facing about head height?
Yeah, I wouldn't be standing where he is, but definitely.
Yeah, if you were standing about a foot in front of it, that would clock you in the jaw. Something chronic like.
Take your head off.
Or if you were standing right in front of it, you're not having
zoomed in a bit more. So, yeah.
How did he die? His head was blown off by a
Definitely
t-shirt.
got he definitely got wheels. You can see it's definitely got wheels. So yeah, like you say, it's like a remote control. I wonder if it's like
I'm not being funny, but if you've got that as a rotating barrel and you just tell it to fire, if that's on casters, it's just going to end up all over the place, isn't it?
I'm guessing it's like a drone sort of thing. You probably give it
Also, you can tell to chase the athletes around the ring.
Yeah, or obviously go to one side of the stadium, then move to the other side, then move to the other side, and they just let it go.
Oh, this one's even better. You'll like this. Paul's just going mad finding crazy things.
With the stuff that Paul has, I'm surprised he hasn't got a couple of these.
Oh my god, that's a tank.
Yeah, that was my reaction.
It's a tank. Like, you see the tread on it, and then it's got multiple It's a tank.
It's not a bomb disposal T-shirt cannon.
I think it's basically it's the bottom half of a bomb disposal, and instead of the arm, they've put on a cannon.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah, like literally, I'm not joking. That is definitely the bottom half of a bomb disposal robot, and then they've rigged that on it.
Yeah,
I mean
that's glorious.
That's hellish. Imagine that. Imagine that filled with smoke bombs.
Oh, just drive into the enemy's bunker and then litter the place with smoke bombs.
Just
you have it on a remote control with a camera on the front of it. So you just drive it over there, taking coverage. You
wouldn't even need it to launch. All you'd need is an RC car with a load of smoke grenades on, and then a little piezoelectric lighter that you can set off remotely. So you drive the car in, they're all looking at this car, and then it just starts billowing smoke out of it.
It actually looks like it does have a camera on it.
It's probably mental. It looks like it's been like a bomb disposal.
Definitely.
He said this is the last one. I think this one's specifically for you when you turn when for your big birthday.
I dread to think now. The armored wheelchair.
Armored wheelchair.
Not far off.
Yes. Damn. Is that like the US Army's cutbacks?
I think it is, isn't it?
Would that pass the vehicle inspections for North versus South, because that would fit in the van?
It's basically it's basically a scooter. You know, the disabled scooter, and then they put that on the back of it.
The thing is, would anybody dare try and ride that at North versus South?
I mean, you can actually see it's like it's practically wheeling with a weight. Look,
I think it's
the back end,
the back, just to stop it from wheeling.
It has, yeah. It's got another wheel. Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah.
I can't zoom in enough, but yeah, you can actually see the little wheel there to stop it from tipping. That's ridiculous. What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mental.
I still think that the best tank that came for North v South was that Discovery the first year that just had the wooden panels over the windows.
Did you ever see the Wildcat that Tipman made?
Yes.
Hellcat, sorry. Tipman Hellcat. That was it. Even had a grenade launcher.
I like a Dodge Hellcat.
No, this was the Tipman Hellcat. I mean, seriously, It was meant had a minigun, paintball minigun on it, and grenade launcher, and it was just absolutely mental.
If I won the lottery, the tank I would take to North v South would be Jonesy's van. Open 2, 3, out 2, 3, bang 2, 3.
Yeah, you seen that would be really good fun. That as well.
Sorry, I got it wrong. It's the Tippmann Hellhound.
Yes, yeah, the Hellhound. Yeah. It took 2 players, had like smoke deployment, had a big tank of paint above them.
Can you see that, Colin?
Yeah,
it's not anything overly complicated, to be honest. It's just an ATV with stuff they have at their disposal in their warehouse.
Yeah.
So it had a high speed, 10 barrel, 50 rounds per second chain gun. It was actually powered off a screwdriver.
Yeah.
I'd still go for
guns like that. Guns like that are kind of cheating. When he says 50 rounds per second, it's not one individual marker.
No, yeah, I know. That there is a grenade launcher. God knows how that worked, but that fired actual paint grenades out of it. You know the Tippmann big boys used to fire them. I mean, it was something else.
I said I'd love to have a go building something like that, but then I also want to like run around in the game zone as well. So yeah, maybe it's one day I'll get around to actually building.
See that's the beauty of Jonesy's van, because you can just pull up and get out the back.
There's the
needs to be driving.
So it's fed off. The hopper was fed by the gun was fed by 2 hoppers.
Yeah,
I don't know why they let. Unless it was just one paintball gun in the middle and the screwdriver just made the barrel spin. I don't know.
Maybe. I've thought about doing that before for like a minigun build, just for a laugh. Just having one central barrel with like a rotating outer barrel.
Yeah. There's a few people did that.
Mm-hmm.
The best one I've seen is the one that he did it with. Is it 6 ions or 8 ions?
Mm.
And then it all rotates, but each ion fires individually.
Yeah.
And that is
like
stupidly quick.
As they rotate, it trips the micro switches to fire them.
Yeah, something like that.
There was one that Wolf shared a little while ago where it was a guy had built like a box with 4 ions sticking out of it and fed from a max loader, and that thing it sounds it sounds like a swarm of bees every time he fires it.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah.
I can't get any more information on it because it's still going.
Mm-hmm.
It's in somewhere in America. It's at Hell's Gate in America, but I can't get any information on that mini pod or chain gun thing that was on the front of it.
Yeah. It's probably being used as like a ref vehicle now or something for big games.
There's a big game in America called Hell's Gate.
Yeah,
and that's where it's the owner of that basically has bought that. But if you remember, Tippmann a few years ago went nuts. They made that. They made the suicide vest. I don't know if you remember, you actually pulled it down and sprayed paint in all directions.
See, I still want to get my hands on one of those, but they were for Tippmann Tactical, not for just Tippmann Paintball.
There was
it was. I've never been able to find out where you can get them from, but I would love to get my hands on one of those. The one suicide vests for paintballs. It'd be so much fun to get that.
I always remember that.
There's an easy way of doing that, where you get the spring-loaded claymores and just strap a load of them to the vest.
Yeah, you could do that, but yeah. You see, this fired liquid paint.
Yeah, it had hoses all over.
Yeah.
You had the dead man trigger when you released it. It literally sprayed paint in all directions.
It had 2 funnels on the front and a funnel on the back.
Yep.
Yeah, when you click the little button on it, it did just spray paint. Yeah.
Well, you just have a little battery-powered pump that has, and then have like hydration pouches fastened to the front of your vest with little holes in.
Well,
So
what
it pumps liquid into it that squirts the paint out of them.
this is it. I'm not exactly sure how it would work. I mean, I'm pretty sure it probably wouldn't take that much to work something out. But they had because it was like a proper sort of tack vest, and you on the back of it you had something that you pumped all the paint into, and then you must have closed the valve on that to stop the paint from leaking back out. And then you put compressed air into it to charge a dump valve, I guess. That then when you press the button, it released that and just blew all the paint out in one go.
Who was
Yeah,
the
I mean you could put like a sparkler into it.
Oh yeah,
Shoreline when it first started off? Who was Tim's partner?
Lee.
Lee Wickham. That's right. I always remember the very first Call of Duty. He came running into a room and he just pulled the front of the flap down and it said bang. And he go, right, you're all dead. I said, because I'm a suicide bomber. He literally just ran in, just pulled the flap and it just had big words going bang.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that because I didn't attend the first one.
That was the only one I went. I didn't go to Sunnybridge. I only did the first one. And it was a great idea. I liked how each little team all had to have the same outfit. So we were Navy SEALs, so it was easy for us. We just all wore black. But if you were the Russian Spetsnaz, you had the urban camo on. The only problem was they did not get some hammer all weekend, and they were at the end of the weekend. They were biting like I don't know because we were all walking past, going, "Everybody in the House of Love," I'm trying to think that 80s band that all used to wear. They get what were they called? But yeah, basically that idiot who ran himself over. I'm showing my age.
Oh.
Sharon. She's not listening.
Sharon!
She used to be a fan. She used to be a fan. I can't think of the name of them.
80s band that did what?
House of Love.
House of Love.
House of Love was their biggest hit, and they all wore the Spetsnaz gear.
Yeah. See, I want to say something like Boyzone or something like that.
No. These were the
80s. That's that 80s.
The 80s, 90s. They were the bad boys of
East 17.
That's it. East 17. What? Yeah, all weekend we were just taking the mick out of them, saying that they were East 17, and they were biting. By the end of the weekend, they were biting like I don't know what. Best of it was every time they said Navy SEALs, we were taking the piss. We all started going R because we were taking the mick out of ourselves. Yeah. But yeah, they were the ones that were the Spetsnaz. Oh, by the end of the weekend, they were proper biting. Yeah, so funny.
But it's all part of the fun of it.
Yeah, but they were really biting. It was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, I just like the idea how they did that. Like say each team had an outfit, and you had to have that. You know what I mean? You had so you knew who was who. The ones that were the operators were the best ones. They were just in t-shirts and jeans. But it was all based around COD. So you had the SES. Navy SEALs, Spetsnaz. We had some of them dressed up as Arabs. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good weekend. Those Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
So that was it.
I never played one.
I can't remember. I think I just played on the US Army side.
The very
Desert Camel.
The very first one, it was in an old factory unit.
Yeah.
But when we got talked to the owner, they used to make weapons like shells and stuff. And honestly, when you were walking into some of the places, it was like something out of a horror movie. It was like Frankenstein's bloody laboratory. It was mental. And I said, and they played around a bit with certain stuff, and it was more. I would guess what people will call now milsim, but we just had bog standard paintball guns. But they had there was a car we had to stop the car. In the car was a suspect. We had to stop the car, get the suspect out, and then get the suspect to the other side without getting shot. And I always remember I was in this doorway, and I didn't realize Al Murray was the other side of the door, and my tack vest has a handle on the back. Well, he just opened the door, grabbed the handle, and yanked me in. And there's nothing I could do. I was like, and he just put his gun over the top. He said, "Come on, lads, get in here and try and get your mate back." And he was just using me as a human shield. But literally grabbed me handle at the back. Well, there was not a damn thing I could do. It was the last time I ever wore a tack vest.
Though that's part of the fun of doing stuff like that. When it's all done in good spirits and everybody's on board with it in the mood, it's great.
Yeah, it's like I always remember there was one bit I was standing watching, and one of them decided, because they were properly dressed up like Arabs with the weird hats they wear, the little ones that are like a pie crust on the top, and he's it was I've forgotten his name, but he had a newspaper, so he decided he would, in the middle of the streets, hog us down, making out he was using the toilet, reading the newspaper in the middle of a game, and it was just stuff like that. They were all going around all weekend calling us infidels, and it was obviously, I think these days everything's so politically correct. People will probably do one.
Yeah, catch you later, John. There's a possibility of that, but I think there's in a lot of cases, I think it's a little bit of outrage online. It's a lot of outrage online, but in reality, most normal people just don't care.
I just think if a couple of the videos, if anything actually got online, they'll be actually hell on about the game now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
No, I won't. Shut up.
Regards, yeah.
Oh dear.
But anyway, guys, yes, I think it is.
Yeah, time to go.
Wrap this up. So, for anyone that might be tuning in now or tuning in the next couple of minutes, today we have talked about the MG100 being as good as the sar12, according to some people from the Hatchet Men. According to some of the players from the Hatchet Men, there's also 50 cal first strikes, and also paintball being played in public. So yes, that is what we have talked about today. That's our quick 10-second recap. I hope that you've enjoyed the show.
And a load of other bollocks as well.
Yes, well, of course, this is the technical
as usual
broadcast. We have been technically problemed, as always. But yes, everyone, thank you very much for dropping in and checking the stream out. It's been a pleasure to be your hosts for tonight. Would anyone else have any final words?
Ta-ra.
Anything else? Anybody else want to say anything?
Bye.
Chandy Man, would you like to actually say anything tonight?
Silent Bob.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I think we might actually just have to rename it to Silent Bob. Yeah. But so thank you very much, everyone, for dropping in to watching. We've been your hosts for the Technical Problem broadcast. As I said before, it has been a pleasure to host the stream for you. So thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you same time next week.
We were up to 17 people at one point.
That's fantastic. I can't believe that there's actually like 17 people who have tuned in from listening to us not our own. But yeah, guys, thanks very much for watching, and we shall see you same time next week. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
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 Love you long time.